Hello and welcome to HyperDog Digital. This is Scott. Today we're going to take a look at this neat little device right here. This is a wireless pen mouse by Lychee. That's L-Y-C-H-E-E. I did get this on Amazon for about $16.99. There are many different versions of this, but this seemed to be the one that got the best reviews, so I wanted to take a look at this one. You may have seen these maybe on late night television. There's been a few, as seen on TV type commercials for these kind of things, and I've always wanted to take a look at it, so let's do that. So here is the pen itself. This is the stand that it comes with here. Let's move out a little bit here. There is a little USB dongle, and this will be the pen itself. Now this is all plastic. There's no metal or anything like that on here. Doesn't feel like really a super cheap plastic, but it doesn't really seem like it's something that is really super sturdy either. It's kind of right in between there. But it's very light. It's got a nice little weight to it, so I mean, using it, you're probably not going to get tired too quickly. And there are several buttons on it. There's one right here on top. You do have a roller here, which does not appear to use as a button as well. There's no push on it, just roll. There's another button right here, and there's a button on the side. And then there's an on-off button right here on the bottom. Now the battery compartment, it's right here. Get that off of there. There we go. And I did have a battery already standing by here. It takes AAA, one AAA battery. There's no indication on here as to which direction you're putting this in, so we'll try it this way and hope we get it right. And we did. Put it back on. There you go. There's a little stand for it. Yep, looks like it goes like that. Alright, so we are going to give this a try, and we will we'll be back after the break to tell you what we thought. Okay, so we are back, and we're going to take a look at this wireless pen mouse by Lychee, L-Y-C-H-E-E. I've been using this for a little bit for both work and at home, and there are some things I like about it and some things I don't. So let's jump right into the things I do like. It is very comfortable to use. The battery life is awesome. I haven't ran out of battery on it at all yet. It's still running very well. It like I said, is very comfortable. It feels very natural to use, and it's very easy to use. Plugging in the little dongle, it picked it up right away on any device that I managed to plug it into, and it worked perfectly, just like any other mouse that you might have. The little stand is very nice, and it just holds it, very simply. There's nothing too spectacular about that. It just seems to work very well. While I do get some wrist fatigue using a regular mouse, I didn't seem to get that at all with this. So this is definitely seems to be a good alternative to using your regular mouse. The buttons seem to work very well. The scroll worked very well. Really didn't have any problems at all as far as that goes, as far as them functioning. Now let's jump into what I didn't like, and a lot of these are kind of nitpicky, I would say, but it's going to depend on whether or not you you really can get past some of those things. First of all, I really wish that there was, I don't know, maybe a carrying case or a way that maybe the dongle fit inside the pen, or that this snapped in here so that everything, and then maybe the dongle snapped underneath so that everything was self-contained. I really hate having loose pieces, floating around, whether it be in my backpack or in my my little electronics case thing, whatever. It's a small issue, but it does kind of drive me a little bit nuts. But other than that, while the stand does hold it very well, there's no problems there. It is very, very light. So it easily will get knocked around or moved around or knocked over, You know, it doesn't. It's not. There's no rubber padding on the bottom to keep it from sliding around. And it's kind of funny. You can actually, there's a hole underneath where this plugs in, so you can actually, you know, leave it into the stand and move it around like that, so that it's actually, you know, actually moving that way as well. I'm not sure why you'd want to do that, but you can. The buttons, again, they worked very well, but they definitely take a lot of getting used to. There's definitely a learning curve to this. I've been using it for, oh, I don't know, about 2 weeks now, and I'm still not very good with it. As far as you know, I mean, using the mouse and moving it around is super easy, and that works great. Clicking, it's surprising how hard it is to keep your pen or the cursor on a certain location and just double click easily on it. It seems to work a lot better if you have a mouse pad. If you're trying to do it on a hard surface like just a tabletop or something like that, you're gonna have a lot more problems. And what I find that I do is I kind of click and I move my finger a little bit, and I'm not double clicking on the same location, or I'm moving a window or something like that. And that's the same thing with the now your left click is up here and your right click is up here, and I get the same thing with the right click as I do with the left click. You know, trying to double click it, I end up moving the tip around a little bit and not exactly hitting where I need to hit. I'm getting better, and I definitely think that after a certain amount of time you will get it down. Just like learning to use a mouse for the first time, watching my 6-year-old daughter try and use a mouse, I'm having the same problems as she is. So it's definitely a learning how to use the device kind of issue, but it may take a while, especially those of us who are very used to using a traditional mouse. Also, with the right click, you're not always set up right to use it, especially if you're doing a double click. You sometimes have to shift your hand around a little bit to get the right position on it to use it. But once, you know, again, I think it's a learning curve kind of thing, or maybe that's just the way it is and you just kind of got to shift a little bit, but it's not a huge issue. None of those are. Hopefully as I use it more, it will seem to work a little bit better, and I'll get better at it myself. The scroll, I have no problems with that at all. That seemed to work just fine. So that's really it. I mean, I really do like using it. And I get a lot of questions about it, especially at work. People are all, oh, what's that? How do you use that? And does it work real well? I get questions all the time about it, and I have had a couple people go out and buy their own, and they seem to like them as well. So it's definitely, you know, even kind of just something to talk about. It does work very well, but again, there's a learning curve. So be prepared for that if you do want to end up grabbing one of these for yourself. So hopefully this was helpful to you. If it was, give us a thumbs up, and leave us any comments down below if you have any questions. Otherwise, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, and we hope to see you again next time here at HyperDog Digital. Thanks again.